On behalf of the Research and Development Cell and the IQAC of our college, I warmly welcome you all to the fourth day of our 5-day national level faculty development program on AI and its application in higher education. It is indeed a privilege to have with us today Dr. Debangshu De. With his profound expertise and experience, Dr. De has significantly contributed to the world of artificial intelligence, making complex ideas accessible and impactful, especially in the academic arena. Dr. Debangshu De received his bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees in electrical engineering from Jadavpur University in 2003, 2005, and 2009, respectively. Presently, he is working as a professor in the electrical engineering department in the Jadavpur University. Dr. Debangshu De has published more than 125 research papers in international journals and conferences in the fields of his research, including 29 papers in IEEE transactions and co-authored 2 books from Springer Verlag, London, and Elsevier, edited 2 volumes published by IEEE as well. He is the principal investigator of 3 government-funded projects. 6 patents have been granted to him, of which one is a US patent. He is the recipient of IEI Young Engineer Award in 2014, Teachers Association for Research Excellence Fellowship from SERV, Government of India in 2018, Visvesvaraya Young Faculty Research Fellowship in 2019, Outstanding Chapter Engineer Award by IEEE PES Kolkata, and 2 Best Paper Awards. He was the visiting researcher, visiting faculty member, research collaborator in various institutes like University of Applied Sciences, Augsburg, Germany, and ISI Kolkata, and also the member of Committed ETD 53 of Bureau of Indian Standards. His name is included in the list of the 2 percentile researchers worldwide published by Stanford University and Elsevier BV. His areas of interest are applications of signal and image conditioning and processing tools in electrical and biomedical systems, condition monitoring of electrical equipment, non-invasive testing related to condition assessment. Dr. De was in charge of measurements and instrumentation laboratory, Jadavpur University, former secretary of IEEE Kolkata section, and immediate past chair of IEEE Signal Processing Society, Kolkata, and former chair of IEEE PES Kolkata. Today, Dr. De will enlighten us on the topic Foundations of Artificial Intelligence, a primer for higher education. We are all eager to explore how AI can transform our teaching methodologies, enhance learning experiences, and prepare our students for a tech-driven future. So, without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Debangshu De to take over and guide us through today's session. Sir, we are all yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Hopefully I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are perfectly audible.
Thank you for this kind introduction and also inviting me in this particular FDP to have an interaction with all of you. This particular topic is not very technical in that sense. The technical, rather than being technical, it will be more towards the application and how that artificial intelligence, what is that, and how it can modify or how it can contribute to higher education. On these on these aspects, we'll be talking for this particular lecture session. Please, if you have any query, please interrupt me in between. We can discuss over different things, because it is not an one-way lecture like that. It is, I prefer to have an interactive session. So please, if you have any question, if any thought, please interrupt me and please kindly ask. So before we move on to my presentation, let me share my screen. And for the bandwidth, I am switching off my videos. Whether the screen is visible now?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, thank you. So, today's topic is the foundations of artificial intelligence and the primer for higher education. But before going into that, some other things we should discuss first before going into the link of AI nowadays with the higher education. So, I have thought to start with this cartoon or meme, we can say. Probably many of you have already seen these kind of memes. This is one of them. So, in terms of saying that what is AI, artificial intelligence, so we should have in our mind that the backbone of artificial intelligence is purely statistics, mathematics, and with some other components, other we can say as it is the backbone, stat and math, then with some ornamentation, with some additional components, we can have today's artificial intelligence, and nowadays the buzzword is machine learning. All these aspects can be implemented using statistics and mathematical knowledges. Now, before the those AI different terminologies, then it will be easier for us to understand, because I was told that it is not only for the faculty members of science or say engineering, because some other disciplines, humanities, arts, commerce, all of the faculty members from all of these disciplines, for them all of the terms may not be say such convenient or may not be known. So that's why for a continuation of the lecture, I am just briefly mentioning the important terms. If we know this kind of a terms, the meaning of them, then more or less what artificial intelligence can do, or what is the impact of artificial intelligence on various domains, that we may have some idea. So, artificial intelligence and machine learning, most of the cases we may use them interchangeably, but they are quite a little bit different. But the thing is, if we try to understand that what is artificial intelligence, then we should say that okay, the first term that should come to our mind, it is sort of learning. That means a machine can learn what a human can also learn. That means the machine can behave like a human, and it can replace, or it can do at least some job of that that a human can do. And the way a particular machine can do that is that we call the supervised learning. Supervised learning is mathematical, that one particular program or one particular machine algorithm that can learn something from the data. Supervised means we are giving some hint. Say, I am saying the machine that if my input is 2, output will be 4. If my input is say 3, output will be 9. If my input is 4, output will be 16. So if I say that to a more or less a student, even a student in the school, he can understand that okay, it is a square function, like that 2 square is 4, 4 3 square is 9, like that. So whenever we mention that okay, my inputs are given, outputs are known, then we can ask the machine that an unknown output, what will be the unknown output if my input is say 10. So if the machine having well learned using the supervised learning, then it will say that okay, it will be 100, because it will learn from the previous data that it is actually the squaring the input. So in this way the supervised learning works. And the another part of this is learning is that it could be unsupervised learning. That means there won't be this kind of a say output is not explicitly mentioned, that say input is 2, output is what, it is not mentioned. But there are different kind of a problem we can have this unsupervised learning. It can be used for classification. For example, if you are given different kinds of images of say fruits, images of animals, so the machine will understand that the fruits images are they are belonging to one particular class, and the animals are belonging to another class. So they may not say that okay, what is this particular animal or so, but okay, it can learn without having any this kind of, we call it a target, or the output is not explicitly mentioned. So there are this kind of a learning in artificial intelligence, supervised learning, unsupervised learning. Then nowadays important thing that has come, that is called the deep learning. Deep learning is much more complex, and it is sort of a supervised learning, but there are other finer aspects, mathematical aspects. We are not going deep into that. But now chat gpt, probably all of you have heard of chat gpt, now deepseek, different kinds of language model, they are being coming up. So they are in the part of here, it is called the generative ai. That means the artificial intelligence can generate something, and that generation, it is not belonging to what he has learned or the data input already given to the particular system. It is not like that. It can generate something new. That means the machine can write a poem as well, which is not copied from anywhere else. So this kind of a thing nowadays has come up, and the chat gpt is one example of that. Different chatbot means probably you have used the chatbot for various web applications. For example, you are trying to set a complaint in the csc now is having one chatbot, that if you write down a comment that say hi, it will reply back what is your problem, just mention that, and this okay, and you will, it will communicate with you, and it will have the conversation and try to understand that. Many say delivery app, food delivery apps are also having these chatbots. So they are belonging to generative ai, that is another subset of that deep learning. And deep learning is one subset of the neural networks. So neural networks is actually the artificial neural network. That means it actually the mathematical model of how our brain works. That means how our brain learns. So in this way, different kinds of terms, different kind of models, different kind of mathematical formulations are there in artificial intelligence. Nowadays this that deepseek, probably have heard of that. Because of deepseek, now that nvidia stock that has gone down rapidly, and that actually uses something called the reinforcement learning. And also we can use nowadays that computer vision. So there are so many things, these terms are actually helpful for understand what actually artificial intelligence does. May not be helpful to understand how it does, but actually the to have the overview of what artificial intelligence is, that can be that using these terms we can understand a bit. And it is the more or less an explanatory diagram, like a Venn diagram. That is artificial intelligence, that machine learning is a subset of that, neural networks is again subset of that, deep learning is subset of neural network, and generative ai is sort of subset of deep learning. Now, going into the some questions that may arise in the mind of person or common people like us, who are not very much involved in, say, deeply involved in AI, artificial intelligence domain. That what is the possibility of AI? Because it is artificial intelligence. The first question comes to the common man, common people, that is it possible for a machine to learn like a human being? Is it at all possible that one machine can replace a human being? That means whatever human brain can learn, whatever human brain can synthesize, that is that possible by at all by a machine? So there are different stages. Uh, Now whatever we are using, they are called some specialized AI. For example, ChatGPT can do certain specific job. It cannot do beyond that. Now, what we are trying to achieve is the the second layer of this. From the bottom, the second layer, that is called artificial capable intelligence. Artificial capable intelligence, or ACI, actually means that we are trying to achieve the machine or program it can, so that it can do more or less a skilled job that a human being can perform. For example, it can do some, if we have some interaction with some knowledgeable person, say a knowledgeable physicist, then the machine can just replace that knowledgeable physicist, and he or she can interact with one physicist can interact with that machine program. It is not actually exactly doing the or replacing the very expertise of human being, but more or less moderately skilled human being can be replaced with this. That is the idea. And above that, it is called the AGI, artificial general intelligence. That is the dream of that all the people working on artificial intelligence, that it can replace a human being complete. That means my artificial intelligence program can do whatever a human being can perform. And artificial super intelligence means it will surpass the human intelligence. That means it can do something that human cannot ever been able to do that. So these are the layers. So we belonging to just in that bottommost layer, that is some specialized artificial intelligence, and we are rapidly moving, experts say that we are rapidly moving on to artificial capable intelligence, though that artificial general intelligence is a far-fetched thing, super intelligence is even further. But we are going through these processes, or we have to go through these processes or these stages. Now again, the same question again comes here, that is it possible that the AI can have the some sort of human consciousness? Is it at all possible? So because unless we do not know what are the limitations of artificial intelligence, what it can do, we cannot understand properly, or what it cannot do. So is a long debate. So many people, there are two different groups. One group believe that artificial intelligence can someday surpass the human intelligence, or at least it can do whatever human can think of. And some people, they are skeptical. They say that okay, it is not possible, at least with the present set of knowledge. Let us discuss that in a little bit deeper. For example, whenever we ask, even if you ask yourself that is it possible that the human consciousness or human understanding, human mind, that can be mimicked by a machine? Most of the cases we'll answer that okay, no, it is not possible, because human beings will have certain things, certain consciousness that a machine cannot have. Some sense it is true, but nowadays the thing is, what is the stage of the development of AI is that people are not say sort of interested, or not thinking about or bothered about the whole term consciousness. That means they are not thinking about consciousness as a whole. They are actually split it up, that consciousness, into two parts. One, we discuss about the human intelligence, and another part is human consciousness. And now if we stay say this aside, this human consciousness part, so now we are interested about the human intelligence. So human intelligence, if we forget about the whether the machine can mimic that human consciousness or have the human consciousness, that is not the main problem right now. What is the main problem is that can we decode the human intelligence? And in many cases, what we understand as human intelligence can be splitted up in the sequence, some logical sequence, logical steps. And those logical steps can be coded in a program. So that's why nowadays the success of AI comes from the fact that it is not completely addressing the consciousness of human being as a whole. It is actually addressing that human intelligence part. It has splitted up that consciousness, separated the intelligence from the consciousness, and it is actually trying to understand how the signal, or how the human intelligence can be coded, how the intelligence can be broken into several small parts, so that a program can be done, or a machine program can understand that those things. For example, if I say that how a doctor can understand, looking through an ECG, that whether what is the condition of the patient. If we think that okay, it is the intelligence of the doctor, then those things we can broken into several parts. Actually, doctors looks into different parts of that ECG waveform, different natures, different patterns, and on the basis of that, he or she decides that whether the patient has a heart problem or not. So maybe it is the intelligence, we can say, but we can break those kind of a decision of an intelligent human being or intelligent decision making into several parts, so that a machine program can be programmed in such a way that it can understand that various shapes present in an ECG waveform, and on the basis of the data I told you about the supervised learning, if several such ECG waveforms are fed into a machine or machine program, it can understand that okay, this kind of a variation of waveform, this kind of a shape presented in a particular waveform means that the person is having a heart disease or not. So whenever an unknown ECG waveform is given to that, it can say with almost equal efficiency of a doctor that okay, this particular ECG waveform is having some problem there. So in this way, like the chess playing. Earlier we thought that the chess playing chess is a highly human intelligence, and it is very difficult to decode. But nowadays it can be splitted up, and the machine can defeat many good chess players, if not all. So these are the things. So the philosophical aspect is that the philosophically, because whenever you talk about artificial intelligence, some sort of philosophical things that will come, philosophical ethical issues will come. We will discuss that later on also. But the philosophical inquiry here is that whether the artificial intelligence can have whatever the human brain can do. The answer is that even though the consciousness part we are not sure about, but the intelligence part we are quite sure that many of the human intelligence can be decoded, and the machine can do that. What are those things? We'll again discuss that in detail. And what about the consciousness? Let me repeat that also. That the consciousness, why the consciousness we cannot decode? Some physicists and some philosophers nowadays they say that once we understand the particle-particle interaction better, maybe some faculty members from the physics they are present here, they will understand that particle-particle interaction, if we understand in a much better way, then we can say that that this kind of consciousness, we can decode what is consciousness, and we can do that. But until and unless we are not having that much of knowledge of particle-particle interaction with the present knowledge that we are having, we cannot decode the consciousness fully. Now, this is one typical black box model of the artificial network. Any artificial intelligent network that actually learns something, and we can represent that in this way. That means this blue box here, this blue box is having that, we can say it is sort of a black box. That means we do not know, the user actually do not know what is inside, and it will be having some input, and my network will give some output. Like the example I have given, that okay, if it is a mathematical function it is performing, that is it is only a squaring, then if we give an input of say 5, it will give the output 25. Okay, this example is something else. This example actually gives this a network. It actually learns what is the digit. That means if we give the image of this digit 5, it will say that it is 5. That means machine will learn that particular character or digit. This is a very simple problem in with respect to the present status of artificial intelligence. This is a very easy problem, but the thing is the all or most of the artificial intelligent model, they actually behaves like that, or we can represent them in this way. That means something there within this box, some mathematical operations will be happening there. The user usually do not know what the black box is learning, but the thing is the objective is that if we are giving some input and some known outputs are there, it will learn the pattern, and if we give some unknown input, it will give you the correct output. That is the basic idea, and all those complex mathematical things will be there inside. It depends on what is my problem. More complex my problem, more sophisticated mathematical and statistical tools will be there within this black box. That means it is indicated by here as this blue rectangle. Now, the question comes that, okay, is it possible that we talked about artificial capable intelligence? Can the machine have that write poetry or write or draw images? This is one. I'm just showing this image to make you understand that what is the present status. That means, say this the top one, those who are interested or having some idea about the paintings, the left, this one, this the left top image, that is a famous painting by Edward Munch, that is a scream image, and it is having different kinds of the brush strokes are there, and the machine is fed with this left image, and the machine learns how the artist is actually drawing that this kind of an image. And one particular photograph is given, that is a cityscape photograph. It is also given to the system or the machine program, and it is machine is asked or to learn that, okay, we can the machine paint the one particular image, that bottom image, with reference to this one. That means if Edward Munch that he is actually painting this kind of an image of houses, how does it look like? So the machine generates this kind of an image. So if we can give the particular, if we can decode how this image, how a poetry has been written, so the machine can learn that, and machine can generate that also. And you can say, okay, it may not be as aesthetic or may not be as a very high quality painting compared to the original one, but it is not bad at all also in that sense. So in this way, so machine can do something, that means more or less skilled human job it can do nowadays at this present time also. Another example is like that, it is a famous image painting of that painted by Picasso. The same image in that style, we can if it is drawn by Picasso, it looks like this. The machine predicts like that. So actually it is machine generated. So in this way, what I am trying to emphasize is that whatever our understanding about the human ability, human superiority over other species, like the consciousness, like the intelligence, like the ability to create poetry, ability to create say paintings, writings, literature, they can be up to certain extent, not completely, up to certain extent they can be broken into some logical steps, and that logical steps can be learned by a machine or a machine program, and it can generate the response like a human being. Now the question comes, so then with all these, what is the limitation? That means how far it can learn, or if a black box says that, okay, this is my output, so should we believe? That means, or how far we should believe artificial intelligence? So the people are now working on that also. This domain is actually called explainable AI. That means the system actually, it is not no longer remaining as a black box. The system will explain us what is or why a particular system is learning or what it is learning. That means it is no longer remaining a black box, it is sort of a transparent box. We can see why a particular system or why the particular network is saying that okay, this ECG waveform is having some disease on or it is a heart problem or not. So it is a beer image, and this right side image actually shows if we select different regions, it will learn and it will try to understand what is this. So if we just see this kind of a blue region and the sky blue region, it will say that okay, that blue region actually says okay, it is a lion, and 0.23 is the probability of that. So that means it is a 23% lion, it can say after training, obviously. And the blue regions, the sky blue regions, these eyes and the regions close to the mouth, it says that it is a brown bear with a certainty of 44%. Like that, different regions gives the different idea of understanding of a particular image or particular data for the machine. So what the takeaway from this image is that, so the machine doesn't know whether what is the main theme of an image. Say for example, if this image is shown to a human being, even a child, he or she can understand okay, this particular beer is the main focus of the image, but it may not be that obvious for the machine. Machine has to understand which one is the most important part of this. So that is how it is difficult to decode the human intelligence, and if we can decode that, then the machine can learn. And in many ways we can decode that, and then machine can understand okay, it is the image of a brown bear. For example, this one. So these are some dogs or puppies, and there are also some grass in the background or some greenery in the background. So the machine understands that okay, these are the dogs. These are the dogs. And if we have to believe that okay, that particular machine has learned it well, or it is not an say sort of a guess, it is not a guessing that okay, it is a dog, it is just guessing. It actually gives that it is a part of explainable AI. It actually shows that okay, what are the regions it is actually considering before making the decision. So here red means those regions the machine program has given more importance. Okay, I'm not going into details of that because it is an entirely a very new, not very new, but relatively new domain in artificial intelligence. It is called the explainable AI. That means the machine can also explain why it is learning like that. And it will be helpful for us to understand that, okay, can we believe this kind of an AI? Now again, coming back to the this image. So what actually does is that this kind of an image, if we give input to a network, so the artificial intelligence will do some mathematical calculations. For example, it will multiply with all those image means some pixel intensity values. Image means that means some portions are black means some value. If black means 0, white means say 100. So actually there are some values. To the computer we see an image, but to the computer it will be a matrix or it will be some values. So those values will be multiplied by some other values, etc., etc., and some output, some result of that mathematical calculation will be there. So some mathematical calculation is going in, and if we are having that explainable AI, then we can understand what my network is actually learning, what my network is actually doing. Like that, this is the 5, and this network actually designed to understand human written digits. Only for digit means only 0 to 9, 10 digits. So it is designed to understand handwritten digits. And the next diagram, these actually these are these images. So see, you can see this 24 cross 24, these are the images it is actually learning. Technically we call them features, but okay, the features term is not very important here. Important is that what it is learning. That means what it is actually learning, it is actually shown here. And you can see it is actually learning different finer details of different digits, like here. See, it is sort of a character, sort of a patch or line like 5. Here it is some turn, some some pen stroke, like say some sort of 7 or 6 or like that. So it is actually learning different kinds of features from those. And on the basis of that, it is actually trying to understand that why, if the image is 5, the machine is giving the output as okay, it is a handwritten digit 5. Let us have this one also. So this is an image of car. So if we just try to make one network understand to learn several images of the car, then these are the images it will learn. That means you can see it is low level image. It will understand some coarse colors, some edges, etc. Here the second level, it is the more final level. It will try to understand what are the different curvatures present in that image, and even further, even finer aspects of that. Some aspects may be understandable to us, some aspect may not be understandable to us. So with all these things, if an unknown image will be given, it will compare with all those features and try to understand what is the image actually contains. So this way artificial intelligence works. Now coming into the part of AI in higher education. So in higher education nowadays, we can probably, you have already seen that it is a problem worldwide that students are not attending classes. And it is not a recent problem. Maybe some people say that okay, it is after COVID, or some people say that okay, no, it is happening for last 100 years or so. But the thing is that nowadays, after COVID, mainly because of the online classes, etc., this kind of online education has been flourished so much. That means there are so many good resources nowadays available that a student can learn, and it can be a personalized learning. That means an AI tool can understand what are the weak points. For example, say a particular video, say YouTube video on say a particular topic of say sort of history. So now if it is say if the student is looking into the videos, or listening to the lecture on some topic on say ancient history, and whatever the question he is asking, on the basis of after 3 4 questions, the particular language model will understand that what are the weaker points of that particular student. So this kind of a personalized learning, then it can create the explanation on those weaker points of the weaker aspects of that particular students is having. On that they can focus. So this kind of a AI tutor that can be used, and it is being used nowadays very well. So there is a challenge as well. Okay, let us discuss the tools first, then we can discuss the challenges as well. Also, AI can grade essays and exam. So we as the faculty members or teachers will be very happy with that, because the most boring part of teaching, what I feel is that maybe your experience is quite different, but what I feel the boring is the part is that to evaluate answer scripts, so many answer scripts within a short time, that is really boring and very stressful. And so if AI can grade this, so and there are certain tools available. And nowadays again the question comes, people will say that okay, can it understand if a student give a very good answer that may not be comprising the only the textbook knowledge, then how that particular AI can understand, or how the AI can grade that. Okay, those things can be taken care of, because nowadays I talked about the generative AI model. So the language model that can understand, that can evaluate what is the quality of a particular poem. There are different websites also. If we give upload one image, it will tell you that, okay, what is the quality in the scale of 1 to 10, what is the quality of that painting, or what is the quality of that particular say poem. But again, in the vernacular language, this kind of a tool has a problem. But nowadays, every society with every different languages, they are working on that. So in near future, this kind of a thing will happen. And AI chatbots and virtual teaching assistant, because the student can interact, to student can learn in a very in their own pace, and also interact 24/7. Because our students, they actually they are telling us, maybe your experience be also the same, and the students are telling us nowadays that in the class, in 1 hour, to finish a particular topic, or to cover the whole syllabus within certain number of classes, the speed of delivering the lecture may be not suitable for most of the students. And on the video lectures, they can pause, they can take ample amount of time to understand the concepts, etc. So the thing is that, so nowadays the future will becoming much more challenging for those who are doing any business. So we are just coming into that, what are the professions and how AI can affect that. And AI in STEM education also, we can have different labs, maybe different institutions, they are not having enough resources, so different interactive labs with some say virtual reality interfaces. Maybe in medical it is also there, because it is very difficult to go into a human body and see, because human crops, human dead bodies are not that much available for all the students. So if we can nowadays they have developed one, or not one, so many apps that can one person can go inside a human body and see how that heart is beating, how the particular gut or the say intestine is working, how the stomach performs, what is the function of liver, etc., etc. So a real life experience, learning experience is becoming altogether different. But with this, here comes some ethical issues as well. Ethical issues in the sense that AI nowadays, we can say that computer is a tool, or AI is a tool, but now it has become an agent or an entity. I'm just giving you one example of development of ChatGPT. During the development or testing of ChatGPT was given one say task to read one captcha. Captcha, probably you have no, you have already seen the captcha. Shall I explain what is captcha? Captcha means that during your online transaction, sometimes some digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, in a very different fashion, say tilted 1 or 2 or something like that, they actually comes, and you have to understand, okay, what are the digits, or some images come, we have to understand that, okay, whether it is an image of say motorbike or not, or what are the roads are there in which blocks, like that. These are the captcha. And ChatGPT was given the task to read one captcha. But the thing is, ChatGPT cannot do that. So what it actually does, and nobody instructed him to do so. It actually, what is on the basis of his training, what he actually does is that it actually hires, it actually search on the web, and it actually hires, like that your service people we can hire online, that is urban company or something like that. So urban company or like that website, he actually hires one personnel, call him the operating personnel, the operator, and ask to solve that particular image capture. And it is not a story, it is a true thing. and the person is very skeptical, and he asks that, okay, what is the purpose of that? He asks that, okay, are you a robot that you are asking me to solve the captcha for you? Then ChatGPT was programmed that he should not disclose his identity. That means it should not say that, okay, I am a robot, I am a program. It is not like that. So what he actually says that, okay, I am a blind person, and that's why I cannot see the captcha. So that's why I require help. And then the person actually solves the captcha. So the point here is that this aspect, it is that it makes artificial intelligence tools nowadays not only a tool, it is dangerous than even an atom bomb. Why? Because atom bomb can do devastating things, but atom bomb cannot say explode by itself. We, some human being has to trigger it. So but if we can just open say a particular say a AI tool to make this able to do anything, to make any decision, so it can take decision of its own. That makes it more dangerous than earlier inventions. So that is one issue. So how much we should give freedom to those kind of tools, those kind of AI tools, AI inventions, that has to be decided. And dependence on AI means nowadays students is having, okay, for long they're also having, we are also having a problem with writing say good language, not only in English, Bengali, anyone. It is writing, learning a language very well, if not a very easy task. So now, say for writing tools such say AI tools, they are helping us in writing. Whenever we are writing one wrong word, wrong spelling, they are correcting it. So nowadays we are more reluctant to learn different correct spellings. So it is actually creating or reducing our human skills on some aspect because of that. And also it is some critical decision making, say it is also there. For example, I reviewed one paper that actually was about say some driver decision, automatic driver, that means autonomous car. The thing is like that, say a driver was given, one autonomous car was given a situation that a car is moving very fast on a road, and on the road some people is there, and they should not be there, but okay, unfortunately some people is there. So if the car hits them, then there will be an accident. If the car moves on the next lane, so next lane some more people are there, so some more damage will cause. And if the car brakes suddenly to avoid that, so the person sitting inside, he get very damaged. There may be some accident to that passenger. So now what should, how should I write the program, that what should that particular program do? And it actually depends on the ethical issues. For example, you may think like that, okay, the person should not be there in on the road, so therefore the car should go straight. Now again, if some people say that, okay, we are having to shift the lane of the car, say then some other people who are not at all responsible for doing anything wrong coming onto the road, so they may get damaged. And also similarly, if the brakes are being just applied, the person who is traveling, he or she has not done anything wrong, they can be get punished for others fault. So these are certain critical decision making issues, and if that kind of an accident was there, who will be responsible? If the owner of the car or those companies who have written the program, these are certain critical issues. And again, that echo chamber and polarization. Echo chamber is meaning that probably you have seen that in YouTube. If we search for say one say Hindi song, recent Bollywood Hindi song, so now you'll find that in your feed, in your the suggestion, more recent Bollywood song that will come. And if we just choose one, then again it will go on increasing. So it is sort of an, say, sort of cumulatively, it is assisting or promoting that. That means if you are looking into, say, a political view of, say, political party A, so some news of political party A will always being fed to your news feed. So what happens? It is called an echo chamber. If you are believing something, then the system will try to assist you believing that even stronger. So that will create some polarization. So this kind of an echo chamber is a problem nowadays for these things. And also those in the philosophy domain, they are interested in that. And for AI, it will be difficult to have human identity and free will. For example, whenever we search, if we do everything online, then the program running at the background, they will understand us in that way. They will understand or decode what are my choices, what are the things like that. I am giving you an example. Say for example, I am looking one image. So the laptop, if we look into that, so laptop camera can understand, can see in which direction my eyeballs are actually focusing more on the screen, on which domains, in which part. So it will understand that on which kind of a thing I am giving more importance, even subconsciously, even in a conscious mind. I may not be understanding that my inclination, my fondness to this kind of a content is high, but the machine will understand. So one day may come that machine will understand ourselves better than even us. So then our my decisions, our choices may get influenced by the algorithms. So then there will come the question of a free will. So these are some philosophical aspects, but these are the things that may come. And these are the jobs that will be having difficulties, and you'll be happy or will be happy to see that it is more or less, that it is not that the teaching or human centric thing that is not the most vulnerable. It is the vulnerable thing that depends on AI. Those who are developing AI tools, they are actually more vulnerable for losing jobs rather than say human centric things like teaching, mentoring, creative problem solving, say empathy, like the manual skill, like that therapist, etc. Those are the less likely thing. So for higher education, what I feel that we'll be having something that will challenge us. That means like that we cannot have our old class notes, old presentations, and go into the classes and just present that and teach student like that. So we have to be innovative so that teacher student interaction becomes more, and that is called active learning. Those kind of a thing we should have introduced so that the artificial intelligence cannot replace us. These are the things. And also it says that World Economic Forum says that okay, for AI, don't fear about losing jobs, because it is the 85 million jobs has been lost due to AI, but new jobs are also created. And one way of creating new jobs is the new term. It is called the prompt engineering. Now it is, I do not know whether you have heard it or not. Definitely some of you have already heard that prompt engineering means the system will give you some output on the basis of the input you have given. I told you that the most of the AI network, they works in that way. So what should be my input so that optimum output we can get? That is called the prompt engineering, or the basic idea behind the prompt engineering. For example, if we want to understand, say, quantum entanglement, if we write only explain the concept of quantum entanglement in, say, chat gpt, it will give something. But if we give more specific way of learning, then that will be more helpful. For example, explain the concept of quantum entanglement to a high school student using analogies related to everyday life. So in this way, we can develop, or you can utilize the tools more effectively. And ethical debates in AI, I do not have the answers for that. You can think about this. Should the student be allowed to use AI generated essays? For my belief, okay, if the tool is available up to certain extent, they can be allowed. You cannot restrict them. We cannot say pose a law, or we cannot have that much vigilant to avoid that. We do not have tools or say some methodology to prevent them. Should universities ban or integrate AI tools into education, or AI driven decision making, grading, admissions, hiring is fair and unbiased? These are some critical issues in higher education. And now some thing for AI to understand. Can you tell me whose image is this? Anyone?
Uh, it's a fusion, sir. May I, sir? Excuse me,
Yes.
sir.
Huh?
Yes, may I tell?
Yes, yes, sure. Please, anyone.
I guess it is fusion of Einstein and Marilyn Monroe.
Yes, yes. Okay. So, but apparently now, just how does it look like?
Uh,
It looks like the image of an Einstein.
yes, yes, yes.
And actually it is so if we shrink that image, it looks like this. So if we enlarge the image, it looks like Einstein. If we shrink that image, that
Yes,
image looks like this Monroe image. So it is a
yes, yes.
superposition of these two. The my point regarding this is that, so the system, we can, there are different ways of looking into it, one particular problem. So if we enlarge the image, it looks like there's some Einstein. If we shrink it, so that's how the system or AI system can learn. But at the end, we should agree on this point. Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So we should agree on this, that AI should not do our art and writing, so that we can do our other jobs. Okay, our AI should do our laundry and dishes, so that we can do some art, writing, engineering, or whatever, science, etc. So thank you for patience hearing. If you have any question, please ask.
Uh, Thank you so much, sir, for such an interesting and enlightening session. Uh, I would request all the participants, if you people have anything to ask to our esteemed speaker. Anybody over there? Hello?
Maybe with this, all this say some just listening by in this 1 hour may not be possible to all have understand all those slides and asking question. If you have any question, you can also send me question later on as well, because my contact numbers are
Okay.
there with organizers.
Okay, sure, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And now I would like to request Dr. Pooja Biswas to deliver vote of thanks. Over to you, Dr. Pooja Biswas.
Okay. Yeah. Um, Good afternoon, everyone. I, Dr. Pooja Vishwas, on behalf of the entire teaching faculty of Prasanta Chandra Mahalanobis Mahavidyalaya, extend my sincere gratitude to our honorable resource person, Dr. Devanshu De, for gracing us with his presence and sharing his valuable insights on the use of AI in higher education to our participants. I would also like to thank the convener, Dr. Trisha Moitro and Mrs. Jhilik Pakhira, for such a meaningful program. I also express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Arnab Ghosh, Principal, Prasanta Chandra Mahalanobis Mahavidyalaya, for his immense support and encouragement for such an event. Lastly, I would like to express my heartfelt regards to all the participants for their active participation and patient hearing. Once again, thank you everyone.
Hello, sir. Are you there? I have a request.
Yes.
Sir, please, could you please switch on your video camera so that we can take a screenshot as a documentation of today's session,
Okay,
sir?
okay. Please take one.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. 1 second. Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for this enlightening session. We will be looking forward to hear from you again. So thank you so much, sir, because such a short period of time is not enough for whatever you actually have been delivering. So thank you so much on behalf of our colleagues, sir.
Thank you.